So here we are, kicking off 2026, and the diamond industry? It's a real tale of two cities. You hear a lot about global uncertainty, sanctions, and yeah, that's all making waves. But the real story, the one we're going to unpack today, is this deep split happening right from the inside. So let's get into it.
You know, for the longest time, it was all about the 4 Cs: cut, color, clarity, carat. But in 2026, things are way more complicated. It's almost like not all diamonds are created equal anymore. There's a much deeper divide opening up, and it is completely rewriting the rules on how we value these stones.
So what does that mean? Right, which diamonds are actually winning and which ones are getting left in the dust? That's the million-dollar question. And to figure it out, we just have to follow the money and see what people are actually buying. And trust me, the numbers tell a wild story. All right, let's start with the hard data. Because when you look at the numbers, you can see this fracture happening in real time. It's splitting the market into two totally different worlds.
And here's the absolute clearest sign of that divide. It all comes down to large diamonds versus small diamonds. I mean, the performance gap between the big, high-end stones and the smaller ones is just dramatic. They're heading in completely opposite directions.
Okay, so get this. For the smaller guys, the 0.30 carat diamonds, prices have tanked. We're talking a drop of over 20% year over year. That's a huge hit for a massive part of the market.
But then, look at this. On the complete other end of the spectrum, for the big 3.00 carat diamonds, prices actually went up last month. It's a tiny increase, sure, but think about that. While the smaller stones are in a free fall, the very top of the market isn't just surviving, it's actually gaining ground. Incredible.
And you might be thinking, okay, so it's just the really small ones that are in trouble, but nope. Even the middle market, the bread and butter, isn't safe. This graph here shows the price for a benchmark 1-carat diamond. Just look at that steady, downward slide over the last 3 months. It's pretty relentless. There's just so much pressure pushing prices down, unless you're playing in that top-tier large stone category.
This table really just puts it all in black and white, doesn't it? Look at the pattern. You start at the top with the 0.30 carat, down over 9% in a month. Ouch. Then it gets a little better as you go down the list until you hit the 3.00 carat and boom, you're in positive territory. It could not be clearer. Right now, size is everything.
Okay, so this whole divide isn't just about the numbers and the carat weight. It's also about what's hot and what's not. It's about fashion. Tastes are getting super specific, and people have a very clear idea of the shape they want. And these right here? These are the winners. We're talking about the long fancies. This is what everybody is asking for, especially when you get into 2 carats or bigger. So you've got your ovals, your marquise, your emerald cuts. Basically, anything with that elongated silhouette is flying off the shelves. Suppliers are actually saying they can't find enough high-quality ones to meet demand.
And if you want to know what that demand looks like in cold, hard cash, check this out. We're not talking about a small preference here. A long cushion cut is selling for a 20 to 25% premium over a square one. That's insane. The shape alone is adding a massive chunk to the diamond's price tag.
So, of course, there's a flip side. These are the shapes that are really struggling. The market for princess cuts? Super weak right now. And like we just said, square cushions are getting totally left behind. But here's the real kicker. Any fancy shape with bad proportions is basically considered illiquid. And what that means is you pretty much can't sell it. It's just sitting.
All right, let's zoom out for a second, because none of this is happening in a bubble. When you look around the world, you see that different markets are all putting their own spin and their own pressures on the industry. It adds a whole other layer to this story.
So if we take a quick trip around the globe, here in the US, it's all about those big, long, fancy shapes we talked about. Demand is still really strong. But then you go to China, and it's a different story. There's this cultural shift happening where people are choosing gold and other gemstones over diamonds for their luxury buys. And then there's India, where a brand new competitor is showing up and really shaking things up for the natural diamond business. And out of all these global pressures, what's brewing in India? Well, that might be the biggest deal of all. We could be looking at a seismic shift for the entire natural diamond world.
So what's the big disruption? It's synthetic or lab-grown diamonds. And let's be super clear here. We're not talking about fakes or cubic zirconia. These are the real deal. They have the exact same chemical and physical makeup as a diamond that came out of the ground. The only difference is they were born in a lab.
So, Why does this matter now? Well, a massive, super respected retailer in India called Titan Company just launched its very own lab-grown diamond store. When a player that big makes a move like this, it's not just a small ripple, it's a signal of a major shift, and it has sent an absolute shockwave through the traditional diamond world.
Okay, so let's pull all these pieces together. You've got the huge price divide, the very specific fashion trends, and these intense global pressures. So what's next? What does the future hold? Well, what we're seeing, this is the new normal for the diamond industry. So let's break down the key takeaways for the 2026 diamond market. First, the industry is shrinking. It's getting smaller and much more focused on very specific, high-value diamonds. Second, price isn't just about the old rules anymore. It's being driven by size and, more importantly, shape. Third, this whole battle between natural and lab-grown diamonds, it's not some far-off threat. It is happening right now. And finally, all of this is playing out with this background noise of global uncertainty from things like tariffs and sanctions.
And all of that leaves us with one massive, lingering question. As the market for natural diamonds gets smaller and more specialized, and this cheaper, chemically identical alternative keeps gaining ground, what is the future of the natural diamond? What's its true long-term value going to be? Honestly, the answer to that is anything but clear.